everybody, and welcome back to Growing Pains. I hope everybody's having a great morning, evening, night, whatever it is you're doing. I hope it is fantastic, and thank you so much for tuning back into Growing Pains. This week's episode is going to be talking about my jaws because I did dabble a little bit in them in the intro, but that was almost now 4 months ago. So I thought I would go into like a little bit deeper dive into my jobs. I've worked I worked a lot of jobs. Literally like so many jobs. It's not because of I suck at them. I promise you. It's not because I suck at them. I literally have so many references. Like it's not because of that. It's because if I don't like how I'm being treated at a job, especially at a serving or bartending job, specifically because it's serving and bartending. There are a dime a dozen. Wait, I think that's what that means. Yeah, like I can get them anywhere. So if I feel as though I am being mistreated unfairly, things aren't changing, all those fun little things, then I will speak up. I'm big on speaking my mind, even probably when I should just shut up. I don't know when to shut up. I literally don't. So I find myself in sometimes a bit of predicaments. I'm not gonna lie. I do end up leaving jobs because of that. And I won't go into like the most amount of detail with that, but I will go into a good amount of detail. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to hear, what you want to see next. I'm do this for you, like I say. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all your support and everything you guys do. Thank you. My first job ever. Can we guess what it was? It was fast food. Ding ding ding. Correct. What other fast food was it? Anyone? Anyone? We sold burgers. We sold burgers, not chicken, not chicken. Well, mostly burgers. And yeah, I worked at McDonald's. I guess we sold both, but when I think McDonald's, I think of Big Mac. Yeah, I started working at McDonald's when I was 15 and a half. I walked there because it was literally right next to my house. So I would walk there, and I'm not gonna lie, as a what? How old was I? 15 and a half? Racking in like the amount of money I did, it's pretty nice. And as soon as 10 o'clock hit, drop everything, folks. Drop everything. If you were a minor, drop whatever the F you're doing and clock the fuck out. Go now. It was like an army drill. Literally like an army drill. They're like, when you see that clock go 9:59, you clock out right now. I'm like, okay. Gotcha. But I would work a lot. I literally worked probably 4 days a week. It was fun. It was great. I worked with my friend. Prior to that, me and her were trying to find gigs and jobs. And so me and her sounds so bad. Mind you guys, I was young. Okay, I was so young. My morals were different. Okay, I wouldn't do half the stuff I did back then that I do now. Me and my friend, we were trying to come up with money. We were young. We were literally like 14 years old. We're like, how can we come up with money, bro? We went into our house. We made up a little flyer, and it was like, help us raise money for our science fair. We're having like a bake sale. Blah 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 blah. Oh wait, no. No, we wrote around it. And it was for the landscaping, and we made the cookies, and then we would go around house to house and ask if anybody wanted them, and if they said anything, we showed them our flyer, and we had like a little sign up sheet. Oh my god, yeah, we did so much like things. We did so many little things. When we would put the flyers in the mailboxes, that was for like landscaping, babysitting. Like it was a literally all duality type of service. We were like, we do landscaping, we do babysitting, we do dog sitting, like house sitting, whatever you need. Me and her got it. We got it. And we thought our prices were pretty good. Yeah, looking back, that was a horrible marketing. It was just a horrible like yeah. I think it was just $20 flat rate for an hour of whatever you was needed to be done, to be honest. And it was gonna be the two of us, and I don't think people really liked that. It was two people, to be honest. And so that never worked out. We didn't get a single freaking call. That sucked. And then we did the bake sale. We bought cookie dough, made a whole bunch of cookies, wrapped them up all nice and neat, and then we put it on our bikes again. And we literally just tried to sell them. And if people asked, it was gonna be for our science fair. We ended up selling most of them, to be honest, but I think we only made like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. We didn't make that many cookies, to be honest. But we could have kept doing it, but we felt really bad. Looking back, it was definitely not good to do. Probably should not have done that, but whatever. Young hustler, young hustler. Then we both got a job at McDonald's. We're like, let's get an actual job now that we're 15 and a half. So we got a job working at McDonald's. But then when I turned 16, I was like, okay, I want like a real job, like a different job besides McDonald's because I hate fast food. I literally could not deal with the drive through. I was on the whatever, and oh, I could not hear a single thing from anybody. I'm like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please? I don't know what you just said. And they were just so, the most rudest people. And it's kind of funny because I've always been in customer service. I've never left customer service. But no, I have definitely done some questionable things working at McDonald's to people's food. Fully admit. Rule of thumb, don't piss people off that deal with your food. I don't know like how that's not common sense. I feel bad for those people who got those shakes, but it's whatever. I don't feel bad actually cuz just be nicer, just be a nicer human being. So after McDonald's, then I went to Sweet Basil. Sweet Basil is when I worked. It's like a local pizza shop where I grew up where I stayed for like 6 years of my life, one a little portion of my life. It was like everybody went there. I had never gone there before. I'd worked there, and it was owned by this one dude, and he'd be the only one that worked there. He was the only one allowed to flip the pizzas, and it was like great money at the time, but it sucked because he was very sexist and like in order to get a raise, you had to like move up in the like pizza line, I guess. I don't really know. He literally was like, "You can't work the oven. Only guys can work the oven." And I was like, "Well, how am I supposed to get a raise?" And he was like, and I was like, "I like want a raise." And he was like, "Okay, you can have it." And like, here's a raise. And I was like, "A." And then my one friend that got me the job, she'd been there for like a year prior to me, and so had her other friend who was there. And I was like, "Have you guys got a raise?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Oh." I felt really bad, but then I didn't because I was like, "Did you ask for one?" No. So he did. I wasn't allowed to be a waitress until I was 17 for some reason, or like 16 and a half or something. I don't know. But I ended up serving, so it doesn't really matter. I was pouring stuff. I don't know at the time. I don't think it was allowed to be honest. But yeah, that was a great job. I soon then got another job working at Fragapans, which was this local bakery that I worked at. And it was, oh man, it was my favorite job in the entire world. If I could, I would go back to being a baker. Like, it was just so fun. I wasn't even baking, like, just being in a bakery deli. It's just so good. It smells so good. People are happy. Everybody's happy. It's just fun vibes all round. Once I realized that that job was it, I left my pizza job and I just worked full time in school. Obviously, I'm in high school for there. So I'm pretty sure I started working there when I was like 17. So I worked there from 17, then I was 18, and then when I was 19, I went off to college and I worked a little bit when I came home, a little bit, but then I fully quit when I went back. So I worked there for like 3, 4 years. That was honestly the longest job I've ever had. So funny. It's the longest job I've ever had. So and after that, I had a job in school, Cincinnati, and it was my first job ever in Cincinnati. It was called Pieology, and it is not there anymore. Very, very sad. But I honestly thought it was a great deal. Like you literally could create your own pizza for like 12 bucks, like anything you want on it, anything you want, no upcharge. Like pretty good, solid deal, I thought. But when I worked there, they were open until 3 a.m. So some nights I would have to be there until 3 a.m. or some nights I'd have to be there until 1 a.m. or 12 or just like super freaking late. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, this sucks so bad. And then COVID hit. And then, yeah, I don't, it like opened up like a year later and then went under. Then I went back home because COVID. And then I got a job working at a car wash with my buddies. It was so fun, so fun. Then I also got a job for literally like a month and a half at Kim's Diner, which is a local place in Cleveland. Um, didn't stay there long. Hated it. I left. I loved the car wash, but I had to go back to school. So then I came back to school and then I got a job working at Taste of Belgium. Which I was a line cook at the time, and my roommate was working there, and then she got me and my neighbor the job, and we were both line cooks there, and he was also my ex. Great, yeah. And all the servers at the time had loved him for just loved him. They just gravitated towards him. I didn't really like working there, and I was the only girl in the kitchen. The boss was the girl. The boss was a girl, and she just hated my guts, hated me. And I'm like I said, I have a loud mouth. I'll tell you how I feel if I feel like it needs to be said. 6 times out of 10, it's probably not going to come out in the best of ways. I'm not going to lie. I'm still working on it, but it's just very hard for me. So I left. I literally said, F you. And I walked out. She was just a rude, horrible boss. Horrible boss. Would try to keep me there past hours, do stupid work. I remember one time I had to do over 400 packets of waffles. Mind you, there's 4 waffles in each packet. You can do the math. She told me there's 4 hours left of my shift. She wanted me to get it all done. I was like, that's not gonna happen. She wanted me to stay later. I did majority of the order. I find out a week later that order got a fat tip, a fat tip. And what did she do? Split it with the hosts and the servers, who literally didn't do anything because it was a carry out order. We literally just made them and handed them, never even touched the servers. I was like, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And then I quit because I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then later, my ex ended up getting her fired for sexual harassment. So, bye, bitch. Anyway, so after that job, I tried to get a job at BJ's. Didn't really work that well. I did DoorDash. I did DoorDash for a long time. Oh, I worked at Martino's. It was like a local college bar where I lived, close to where I lived. And since I was under 21, I was serving. But I didn't really care. It was so fun. It was so fun, but it was literally a college bar. So when I'm working there on Saturday game days, you can imagine the chaosity that I had to encounter. And it was fun though. It was fun. I mean, definitely happy that I worked there. But this ex man, this ex just keeps coming into play. My ex, he left them and he was like, I need a job. And I was like, well, the job I'm working at needs someone in the kitchen, full time. And he was like, me. So I was like, yeah, I can get you the job, buddy. So he gets a job there in the kitchen. Everybody loves him. I'm like, this is great. This is great. And then I go away to DC to do my architecture school study shit. Okay. I leave for 4 months. Okay. Halfway to me being gone, I find out yeah, I no longer work there anymore. He doesn't no longer work there anymore, and we no longer have a kitchen staff. He literally convinced all of the well, it was 3 people. He convinced all of 3 people to leave mid-shift on game day of the kitchen. And since I'm the one that got on the job, I also got fired. But nobody told me that I got fired. I just got erased from everything. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? And my girlfriend that works there, I was like, yo, what's Delaney? What's up with that? And she was telling me everything. And I was like, what? He did what? It was wild. No longer had a job there when I came back. So now I had to find a new job when I came back. So after I came back for my architecture job from DC, I came back and I'm pretty sure I did DoorDash once again. I literally DoorDashed for a good solid 4 months before I had to go to California to work my other architecture job. So I guess, yeah, DoorDash, you really had me there. So I worked for DoorDash and then I went to my architecture job and that was great. It was fun. And then I went back to Ohio. I got to work with them remotely. So that was so nice. And then I went back to them for 4 months. Oh, and then when I was there the second time, I got another job working at a pizza shop. Ooh. And I mostly got another job because I plan on going to Hawaii to visit my friends. So I was like, I need to make extra income or else. So I literally got another job and it was such a great job. Like it was so great. I literally was making 19 an hour. 19 an hour as a server plus tips. Like it was wild. It was wild. I'd work 4 hours and make double what I make in my architecture job that day. I miss it every day. I miss it. But then I had to come back here. And then when I came back here, I got a job working at First Watch. That was great. It was fun. I loved it. And then I got into a little fussy with the manager because he was like, "Yeah, you were 2 minutes late," and then I was 5 minutes late another day. And it was whatever. It was super annoying. It was super annoying because I made great money there. I made great money at First Watch. It was so great. And then after First Watch, I got a job working at Prime, like Street City Pub, which is where I worked for like a year. I worked there for a bit. That's how I kind of like got a job bartending. I learned how to bartend there. It was pretty much like my bar. Like I was the only one that worked there. There were so many things that happened with this job. So many things. This job within itself was like a huge catastrophe. So in the beginning, it was really great. It was fun. There was another bartender working there, and there was another server. So I was not the only one at this point. And the bartender has been there for multiple years, like 3 years, and another person was fairly new. And I was like, okay, fine, that's fine. And a couple months pass. The other person just kind of never shows up, the other server. And I'm like, okay, cool. And the bartender one day just stopped coming. And I find out he was fired and I have to magically be a bartender now. And I was like, so I have to bartend and host and serve and expo and bus. The only reason I stayed is because it was guaranteed days I could work. It was good money and it was my bar. Like I literally opened it was just me working. So I loved it, but I also was getting treated very poorly. Horribly. I said poorly and horribly. Like literally awful. I had 12 checks bounce in this time. I think maybe 10. It was 10 or 12. It was a lot, and, it was just very annoying. It was very annoying because my boss would be going out on vacations with his family when my check just bounced, and I'm like, "This, like, doesn't make sense, like, what is happening?" I remember specifically it was right before I quit because this was, like, my last final straw. I was so upset. I was so upset. So, there was an event going on. It was called the opening, and it was for, like, tennis, and it was, like, the tennis opening. It was a huge thing, and my work had a tent there, so we were closed for the pub, and I would just work there. We were guaranteed to make so much money. Like, oh my god, you're gonna make like 2 grand. Like last year they made almost 2 grand. Like it's you make stupid money, blah blah blah. Okay. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay, so I'm working every single day. Mind you, this is outside in the summer, hot. I'm getting at the bar at 9 a.m. I'm not coming home until 12 o'clock at night. I'm tired. I do this for 7 days straight. One of the days, my boss decides let's have open the late night because my bar wasn't also just a restaurant and a bar; it was also a speakeasy at nighttime. Like one night, he was like, "Well, you're gonna have to go." Oh, it just gets me heated. This specific day, the restaurant, because the owner owned like 3 restaurants, they're all right next to each other. One of the restaurants needed my manager who worked with me to go manage the restaurant. So he stopped working at the tent to go to the place and work there, the restaurant and work there. He was supposed to work the speakeasy. I was not supposed to. Okay. So I tell my boss and I'm like, I don't feel good. I was like, I literally, mind you guys, I that day like almost passed out. Like the other tent was helping me more than my own tent. Kind of insane. Like I literally because like I pass out. I don't know why. It's something weird me and my mother do. I don't know. But I knew I was about to pass out and I was like, I need to sit down, blah 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 blah. Like I just don't feel good at all. I was just like dehydrated as fuck. And like I even though I was drinking, like it's just the heat. I don't do well in the heat. As much as I love the heat, my body does not like the heat. I told him, I was like, yeah, can I just please go home? Like, I just don't feel good. Mind you, this is 30 minutes away from where we live. This is like a kind of a hikes away. And I'm like, he drove us too. So I'm going to have to get an Uber or have a friend come pick me up. And so I finally get a friend to come pick me up. It's a huge catastrophe trying to find her because this is like a huge, like, 2,000 acres of just a whole bunch of crap and parking, like so much stuff. So I'm trying to find her. I literally do not feel good. But we finally make it back into the city. I get a text and it's like, I'll see you in a little bit from my other boss. I'm like, what do you mean? And I go to the bar because I had to grab something from where I work. And he was like, oh, I'll see you in a little bit. And I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, I don't feel good. I was like, I left. And he told me I was fine to leave. And he was like, Ronnie, please, please, please help me out. Please help me out. We have nobody open. We have so many reservations tonight. I was like, well, I'm not changed. Okay. Mind you, I had 30 minutes to go home, change, and come back for the first reservation. Your girl did it because I'm a slay boss. I get shit done. But I was like, bro, I'm literally gonna kill someone. Literally. I had to go get my car because my car was at my work. So I got my car and then I go home. I had to change into my outfit for the night. And then I had to go into work. And it was just like completely awful. Like, oh my God, it was just awful. Like, I was so tired. I was like, this is like, all this is so not it. And then long story short, we ended up getting our paycheck and we literally got like $400 for like the 8 days of pay. Like, it was just like, it was so fucked up. Like, it was so fucked up. And then I was like, yeah, I'm quitting. You guys need to pay me this money, all this, because all that check also bounced. Ironically, right? Ironically. And it pissed me off because I knew people who worked that event and they had already got paid. They had got paid the following week. And it took him a month to pay us for that event. A month. And every time I asked, he'd be like, well, once we get it. I'm like, what do you mean once you get it? Because respectfully, my friend is the manager at this other restaurant that like participated and they got their money a week ago, like a week right after. Like right after. So I'm confused why you need this long. Oh, because you're embezzling it. Oh, okay, okay. I get it now. I get it now. No, folks. He was arrested. He literally was arrested for embezzlement the whole time. He was lying to everybody. It was insane. I didn't find this out until 4 months after I quit. But it was like insane. It was actually crazy. It was crazy, people. Like, I'm literally, it was, yeah. So now he's in a huge thing, and apparently he was never even the owner because he told everybody he was the owner. He was literally just the GM, not the owner. It was huge catastrophe. Yeah, he's a horrible person. I really do not like that man. That was my job experience with them. I could go into more detail with some other things about that job, but I'm not going to. So after I worked there, I got a job. I literally quit because I was like, fuck this. I was like, this sucks so bad. I was like, I'm tired of getting ripped out of my money. I'm tired of it. So, because I've been asking to get put on salary, I've been asking to be put as a manager, wasn't doing it, whatever. So I left, and then my buddy gave me a job working as logistics for his company. Awesome, saved me, literally saved my ass. And then I quickly found a job working at a restaurant downtown at the Banks. Great money, good money. Once again, the literal owner was like a pedo. It was gross, disgusting, touching girls, so nasty. I stayed there for about maybe 5 months, 6 months, like 6 months, I think. It was good money, but I just like, once again, all those jobs are the exact same. I can literally go get another one. So I don't really care. I don't think a certain job is better than another because they're all kind of the same. They all have that horrible boss. They all have, like, you know what I mean? At least with my experience. So I left that place, but I also had been working I had been trying to open up a bar, help my friend open up a bar. She's my roommate. I live with her now. Me and her opened a bar with three other girls and this one owner. And so before I even had left one restaurant, I was working there as well. And so then I was working at the bar now. Great. It was so cool. It was fun. It was pretty slow service, but I mean, we were new. What can you expect? And then after that, I ended up going to work. Well, while working at the bar still, I ended up working at another restaurant that owner owned, which is like a sushi fine dining restaurant. I ended up working there as well. And then I ended up getting a job at an architecture firm here. So then I still kept those jobs, just worked way less hours. and still wasn't really making money. I know, right? Isn't that so crazy? Usually, when you get a big girl job, usually you're fine. No, I actually felt like I was even more in debt. I don't know how that's possible. But then I got another job working at a marina, like restaurant where I work right next to where I live. So at this point, I have four jobs. And then that was when I kind of, this was like more recently. It was kind of when I was like, all right, well, I need to do like a 180, literally, because fuck all of this. None of this is making me happy. None of this is doing anything for me. Not progressing in any way, shape, or form. So let's just start fresh, you know? I also love change. I can change in a matter of instance. Like, I'm not scared of change at all. Change is my freaking first name, actually. I quit all my jobs, all my jobs. And then I started working at a fine dining Michelin damn near restaurant right next to where I live. Then I also got a job working at with my friend out in another, it's like a golf simulator place, which is where I work now. And it's a little bit ways away, but it's good money, really good money. I wasn't a server at the fine dining place, and that was my goal. And he pretty much told me like that's not gonna happen. So then I left. I literally recently just left because I was like, I'm not gonna sit around here and wait 8 months to become a server. Respectfully, all the other essays, server assistants, people don't think anything of that. They none of them had hospitality backgrounds, none of them, and I was like, I'm the only one with experience, and I'm still being put with them. Like respectfully, that's not fair. Like I've done my time. They were all also teenagers. I'm literally like 25 years old. I was just very like, yeah, you guys are horrible. So I left. Like I said, I leave all my jobs because I just mm-mm. Maybe it's a bad thing of mine. I don't know, and I don't really care to be honest. So, but right now I'm just have the one job, and I'm just currently trying to find another job. But those are, I think I forgot a job. I'm thinking, but I don't think I did. But yeah, those are the jobs that I have had throughout my life, and it has been so eventful for all of them. But if you guys would like me to go any more detail about any of these jobs, let me know. Comment below. I would love to go in more detail about some of them. I definitely could, definitely can. But this video would literally be an hour long video, so I can't really do that. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. The song of the day is called "Window Pane" by Mild High Club. And they're actually a really good band, so you should just give them a listen in general. But this one specific, Window Pane, is a great song. But thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you guys for tuning in. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't made someone smile already today, go make someone smile. Thank you guys so much.